You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Great friends, it is a Tuesday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew. We come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Happy to have everybody with us today who's listening on the airwaves of the mightier 1090. Everybody who's with us streaming on YouTube, get involved in our YouTube chat. Come down below and see all of our sponsors. Maybe leave a comment. And again, get involved in the conversation. Those of you who watch on YouTube every day, you're like what I call the heart and soul of what we do around here. And for those that will catch up to us tonight on TV, we're on Channel 4 San Diego. We're also on Channel 4 in Santa Barbara. So you got the north and the south covered. And in between, you got Channel 118 in Orange County and in Palos Verdes. And I think we got a lot of big things happening in 2022 with our friends from Cox and their Your View network. So check us out on TV. Even if you're not watching tonight, maybe just set your DVR, Channel 4 San Diego. All right, along with Grande and the Brown Man. Fellas, were you watching Monday Night Football last night? Because I was watching, thinking to myself, I am glad I am warm here in San Diego, and I am not in that cold, the snow, the wind, and the weather in New England, or in Buffalo, rather. And I got to say, I really thought Buffalo would win because all my other picks had gone the wrong way, and I picked New England to win, so I assumed I would lose. And I avoided the shutout by New England actually pulling the victory. Were you guys watching last night?
Yeah, I was watching, and there's two things that I hate weather-wise. And I'm a Southern California kid, so I don't really experience much weather anyways. But there's two things that I hate. Weather above 90 degrees. I hate it. It's too hot. No need for that. And strong winds. I grew up in Oxnard. Santa Ana winds kicked our ass all the time. It's like fire zones because of the Santa Ana winds. I hate strong wind because it's useless. What is wind? Can someone answer me that question? Like, what is wind? What is it for? I don't know. Except it's a pain. It's like annoying. And last night, watching these pregame videos of the punter trying to punt and it went back 20 yards on him, or the kickoffs if you got the wind and it went like 200. They could have kicked an 80-yard field goal if they had Justin Tucker yesterday. Like it was the scenes pregame, because I don't think it was too cold. I think it was like 35 degrees. It wasn't like crazy cold, crazy for Buffalo standards. It wasn't crazy cold, but the wind looked miserable.
Look, man, let me tell y'all something. I love snow football. I don't mind rain football. I love weather football in general. The fact that they let that man throw one pass all the way up to the fourth quarter was probably one of the more embarrassing things when they had to put a graphic up, least passes in a game, and 5 was an option, so is 1. He was the one. Like, I like Mac Jones. I'm like everybody else. I think he's in the best situation. He's got the best coach. Yes, they won the game, so this seems mute. That y'all didn't do him no favors last night.
Well,
Y'all didn't 4 passes, bro.
What did they do that?
mean, though?
But here's my question. Like, what does it matter? You know, like I was watching the game, and Brian Greasy and Lou Riddick. I was watching that part of it for a while, and they were celebrating the arm strength of Josh Allen, that he could throw the ball into that wind.
Slamming that thing in there.
But in the final analysis, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have Josh Allen's statistics versus Mac Jones' statistics, or would you rather have the W versus the L? I'd rather have the win regardless of how many passes he throws. So what's the big knock on him only throwing 3 passes when they won the game?
Shouldn't you be knocking the Bills' defense for
I
allowing
thought
that to happen?
Well, no, because I felt like they had one big play. The Patriots had one big. I mean, it's all you needed was one big play. But
Right.
that long touchdown run, the game was over in the first quarter when they ran for that touchdown. Because the idea that you could overcome that and that win was starting to become a challenge. But there were points in the game where it was time where you could pass the ball. They just didn't. Me personally, I would rather be Josh Allen in that situation, because I know I know regardless of what the conditions are, my staff has the faith in me to go out and execute with the ball in my hand.
But they
I
lost.
just think you're looking at it totally wrong, though. Personally,
How?
I think because the stats don't matter.
I'm not talking about that. See, you didn't hear what I said.
You are talking. You're talking about Mac Jones, and like they didn't trust him to do it, but they didn't need him to do it. They didn't need him to do anything.
You're asking me which
Yeah.
one would I prefer?
Well, I didn't ask.
And
I
I'm
don't.
telling you, I would have rather been Josh Allen
Well,
last
then
night
let me
think
ask you a
Josh
because the
follow-up.
game
Allen.
is in my hand to win it.
But let me ask you a follow-up. Would you rather have won or would you rather have lost?
If I'm as Josh Allen, I would have rather won doing me being the effective part of the game as opposed to just them not trusting me enough to throw the ball.
Okay, Josh Allen, just to be clear, was 15 of 30 last night, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and by the way, had an opportunity to win the game in the last few minutes of the game. With under 2 minutes to go, it turned into a 4th and 14, and he had a chance to not only, and this is like inside the red zone, they could have found a way to win the game, but through the passing game, they were unsuccessful. I'd argue the opposite side, which is you have a young quarterback making his first start in Buffalo, dealing with this weather for the first time in his career, who played his college football at Alabama. Here's the game plan, guys. We're going to run it and keep on running it, and we're going to out physical those guys at the line of scrimmage, and we're not going to take a chance of turning the ball over in this ridiculous wind. So that's the game plan. It's simple. They know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. The question is, can they stop it? You just used the word embarrassed, which I thought was interesting because of what happened in the postgame. What were you thinking, Alex?
I'm thinking that I don't understand how Browner's brain works. Like, I don't know how you can watch that game and be mad at the Patriots. Like, I don't get it. Like, who cares what they did or who they trusted or what? Like, if they needed Mac Jones to pass the ball, they would have made him pass the ball. They didn't need him to. Like, that's why I
In
don't get how
reference,
you can even criticize the Patriots. Like, they were never behind in the game. They were never really in trouble in the game. So why risk anything? Like the
in
Bills, the only
reference,
reason they threw the ball 30 times was because they were behind. They had to do something. They were not able to get the run game going like the Patriots were. The Patriots rushed the ball 46 times for like 250 yards. Like
222 yards is how many
if
yards
you're
they rushed
looking
for last
at
night.
that game last night, I just don't get how you watch that game, Browner, and criticize the Patriots. Like I don't get it.
in reference to the question asked, who would I rather be? That's who I
No,
would rather be.
No, but
And
you
hold on,
actually
let me
brought this
finish.
up.
I just let you talk. I just let
it.
you talk. I just let you talk. I just let you talk. Let me finish. I started by saying that I thought they did Mac Jones a disservice.
But
4
why?
passes.
But why
There
though?
are routes that could have been ran. There are screen plays. There are a lot of plays where the ball doesn't have to travel 10 to 15 yards, where he could be effective, get into a rhythm, and be
Okay,
a part of the game.
But I have a question for you. But why do that in those weather conditions if you don't need to? I'm just trying to figure that
but
part of it out.
You didn't even answer what I said. Like you started your talking point was saying Mac Jones got a disservice, where
Yes.
many argue they helped him because instead of like even forcing anything, if the Bills are just going to let us run all over them, why even put Mac Jones or any quarterback in a situation to deal with it? Like that's what I'm saying. Like when you watch that game and you started talking with no questions asked to you, the first thing you were like, they did a disservice to Mac Jones. I don't understand
4
how
passes.
the functionality and the wires in your brain, like that's how I don't get that. I don't understand that.
So I'm a competitor. If I'm playing quarterback, if I'm Mac Jones and I'm under center, I want to throw the ball. So at the end of the day, 4 passes doesn't make me feel like I was a part of the game.
This makes
4
sense why
passes
you like
does nothing
OBJ.
for me. I want to be a part of the game.
It was
makes
actually
sense
3
why
passes.
you-
Just so you
it
know.
act-
He was
actually-
2 for 3.
Right. And now I get it. It actually makes sense because if you go back to the OBJ thing, it don't matter if we win or lose as long as OBJ gets his. I get it now. I get it. My bad. I get it.
So you
as
think
long
Mac
as Mac
Jones
Jones gets his 3 touchdowns and throws for
It's not 3
250,
touchdowns.
but they
be
take
a
the
part
L.
of the game.
Right.
But-
right. No, it's all about stats. It's all about stats. I get
But
it.
the job is, look, I'm the quarterback. The coach devises the game plan, and then the coach tells me what plays to run. The coach decided to run the ball all game, to not take the risk given the weather, and to try and force the Bills to say, stop it. The Bills didn't stop
This is
it.
like
So
literally like we've been giving the Patriots and Bill Belichick, everybody, including you, Browner, how much credit that
Yes.
Mac Jones is in the perfect place for a rookie quarterback.
I said that a couple minutes ago.
Right. So they protected their rookie quarterback. If that was the Jets last night in Buffalo, there's not a single chance that Robert Saleh and their coordinator don't make Zach Wilson throw the ball 30 times too. Like that's not putting your quarterback in a position to succeed. And the Patriots put their quarterback in a position to succeed.
Or at least to win the game, not
Bills
necessarily
did it.
to succeed
The
statistically.
Bills made Josh Allen throw the ball 30 times. How'd that work out for him? They couldn't do nothing.
The ball, Josh Allen has the skill set to throw in that.
How did that work out for him?
If I'm 3rd and 2, okay, 3rd and 4, we can't run a screen pass. We can't run a wide receiver screen. We can't run something short out of a tight end screen. We can't run none of that.
You can.
None of that.
You
Bills
can,
did.
but here's the
Bills
here's
did.
the thing.
Didn't work for them.
They didn't do it successfully.
Right, that's my point.
So here's my question. Why do we need to throw the ball for the sake of throwing the ball when we can run the ball successfully? If it's 3rd and 2 and I feel confident that I can pick up a first down by running, why do I need to throw? Because my quarterback needs to accumulate statistics?
But they didn't pick it up every time. They didn't pick it up most of the time.
But dude, it was one of those games where it was a low scoring, game that was going to be won at the line of scrimmage, and the Patriots had their game plan, and they didn't have to veer off of their game plan because they never trailed in the game. So I'm trying to figure out, though, this is what I'm trying to get to. What does it matter? What does it matter that he went 2 for 3 for 19 yards? They won. Would you rather win without statistics or lose with statistics?
If you think you're going somewhere doing that, then cool.
No,
I would love to play you.
Dude,
you're going to get clobbered if the wind doesn't blow too hard. What are you talking about?
But they're not going to have to do that in other conditions. However, what if they find themselves in a playoff game in Buffalo, hypothetically, in those sorts of weather conditions? Well, now we've got a game plan for how to win. I just don't. What I'm getting at is this. Look, we have a disagreement on this. We don't see it eye to eye, but I don't see why it matters. He could have gone 0 for 0. As long as you win the game, what does it matter? You play to win the game, not you. You play to get statistics.
I would rather be what Buffalo did because it gives me, as Josh Allen, full confidence that they trust me to win the game. If I'm Mac Jones, if the wind's too hard and we can't run the ball, they're not going to trust me to throw a 10-yard pass. You know why? Because we won running the ball before.
What if they would have? Well, dude. Okay, so here's the bottom line.
I think this is the largest reach you've ever done.
This is
and that's saying something. And that's
end
really
all
saying
be all.
something.
End all be all, because I really want to get to some other stuff. End all be all comes down to this. I'd rather win and have lesser numbers. You'd rather lose and have greater numbers. Because Josh Allen had better numbers passing last night, but Mac Jones won the game. I'd rather be over here with Mac Jones. You'd rather be over here with Josh Allen. That's all.
And the next time we play them, I still would rather be Josh Allen.
Well, guess what? You know what's going to be exactly right. In 2 weeks, when they play in New England, I'll bet you that in a game like that, depending on the weather, of course, chances are it's not going to be like that, like it was last night. Last night was a very unique experience. On average, I could show you what the numbers are. On average, what does Mac Jones throw per game? It's not 3 passes per game. This has not been a season-long issue. The guy has 384 pass attempts, and he's got 270 completions. He's averaging 70% completion rate. So I'm sure they got plenty of confidence in a guy who's passed for almost 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 picks, but he is a rookie quarterback making his first start in Buffalo in some very extreme weather conditions. Here, let me show everybody, for those that are watching, let me show you some of the weather last night. Let's take a look at this. Alex, why don't you show some video of what was going on last night? Started off with the ESPN crew. Here they are in the pregame. Susie Colbert and Randy Moss. Trying to remember who else was there. Booger McFarland, Adam Schefter. Who else am I missing?
You didn't name Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, the former Kansas City quarterback, the kid from San Diego, Helix High. They're all sitting around before the game doing like their studio show on the field. Watch what happens and listen, everybody who's on radio. Listen to the weather. You'll hear it. Go ahead and play it, Alex.
And the Ravens lost, opened the door for the Patriots. Now the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they're doing the thing.
Hold on.
There's one of those guys. Holy.
I knew it would be windy enough to knock me over.
Schefter's chair literally blows over. Wait, watch this. Here's a kickoff in the game. The Bills kick the ball off. Some, guys put the ball into the end zone. There's a lot of touchbacks in the NFL. This ball went through the end zone, past the end zone, into the stands. You're talking like a 90-yard kick because of the wind. These were extreme weather conditions in Buffalo last night. So again, Browner, I know we disagree on this. I'd rather win with lower numbers than lose with greater numbers.
I would rather been Josh Allen knowing I'm going to see y'all again in a couple weeks. This is one game. I'll be all right. We didn't get this one, but we learned, and we'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
I think we're all forgetting something here. New England's back. Patriots are back.
I tried to explain that to you a few weeks ago. You ridiculed me.
And if you're working if you're a studio show and they put you out there in that, I'm sending emails. Come on, y'all. This
sending emails to HR?
Yeah, we don't need to be on the sideline for this. The wind's blowing. We get it. Y'all don't need to see that. Put us up in a booth somewhere and let us do it from up there. That was almost hazard pay.
It was actually, it was not good TV at all.
Did you guys see what my favorite NFL player said, Matthew Judon, who is my hate on mac and cheese brother? Did you hear what he said after the game?
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
It's pretty funny.
Just hats off to the offense, really. Everybody. Probably besides Mac, he really didn't do nothing besides hand the ball off.
My favorite player, I think.
He didn't do anything except freeze his ass off and hand the ball off.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, he couldn't have done what Mac Jones did because in a handoff, they fumbled it and they gave the Patriots the ball. So not that easy, Browner, to just hand the ball off because Josh Allen fumbled one.
I'd rather manage the game with a win rather than have greater numbers with a loss. I mean, that's just bottom line. I mean, did you want to win the game or lose the game?
I want to win one game. One game.
Well,
that was one game.
It is one game, but the Bills are if somebody asked Josh Allen after the game, are you guys free falling or spiraling? And he's like, I don't know if I'd call it spiraling, but clearly there's something not going on here because the Bills were one of the teams coming into the season and they have fallen apart while New England has completely rebuilt themselves. Somebody posted a question on Sided, which was, if the Patriots played the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, would it be the most watched Super Bowl in the history of the game?
No.
Which I don't know. I mean, Belichick versus Brady with the halftime show that they've got planned from SoFi in LA. You couldn't ask for a more dramatic matchup between Belichick and Brady.
You would have to factor in Patriot fatigue. Tom Brady fatigue. Like a lot of people wouldn't watch it.
Oh, I'm gonna disagree.
Okay.
And say I think that it would be if I told you Baltimore was playing against the Rams in the Super Bowl. You think Baltimore versus LA is a more dramatic Super Bowl and a more viewed Super Bowl than Tampa Bay versus New England?
Yes. The market in Los Angeles in combination with the world watching the Super Bowl. Yes.
Again, I disagree. I think
I
Tom
feel
Brady
like,
versus Bill Belichick.
Now, if you ask me if Arizona played Baltimore in the Super Bowl, I'd say no.
So, okay. How about Green Bay plays against Baltimore versus Brady versus Belichick? You don't think Brady Belichick is like the most insane Super Bowl ever?
Versus what you just said, Brady Belichick would be a better Super Bowl than Green Bay and fill in somebody else. Like I'm talking about market size as well.
I'm already nauseous thinking about all the storylines of Brady and Mac Jones and Brady.
It would get tired.
I'm already
yeah, but I'm telling you, but America would eat that up. You guys wouldn't.
Well, America needs to see clearly because if you're eating that up, you're not watching football. Enough,
dude. I would love it.
Enough.
I would love it.
I know you are because you're part of the media. You're the old
media.
School
I'm a fan, dude.
You're LA
Tom Brady, who won a Super Bowl a year removed from Bill Belichick, only to have Belichick bring his team back with a rookie quarterback, and then these two meet up in the Super Bowl. For me, I happen to think it's great. I love it. All right, listen, coming up.
Like The Sopranos, it's over. Find a new
Well, maybe, but maybe it's not over.
I know, but it's like then it's like a Showtime show. Can it be over already? Like it's not good anymore. Let's move.
You saw what happened. You saw what happened with that Sopranos movie.
Hey, look,
Sopranos
guys,
movie was awful.
Guys, I'm just telling you right now. Last year, I was a Brady fan. I wanted to see Brady stick it to Belichick. This year, Belichick may be doing the greatest coaching job of his entire career. Seriously. Let me have a second here, though, because I want to come back with, after the game, one of the reporters asked the Bills defenders about being embarrassed by having the ball run down their throat and not having a quarterback have to throw the ball against them. And it turned into a mess of a press conference after the game. I'll get to it coming up in just a minute. I do want to mention our friend Brian Bushfield from West Coast BBQ Shop. Brown, are you going to be down there broadcasting on Friday, correct?
You already know what time it is.
Yeah. So Browner will be live on location at West Coast BBQ Shop. It's West Coast Barbecue. It's 2330 Proctor Valley Road. It's in Chula Vista. And if you have anybody in your family that you're thinking about for a holiday gift, big green eggs in all the different sizes, Italian pizza ovens, literally not like Italian as in like theme, as in imported from Italy, outdoor kitchen, anything you're looking for, they've got it when it comes to grilling at West Coast BBQ Shop. Accessories for grilling, rubs and sauces, and all kinds of things that you are looking for. So if you've got somebody in your family who's a grill master, West Coast BBQ Shop is the premier barbecuing shop in all of San Diego. You can visit them online, westcoastbbqshop.com. You can visit them in person. Mom and pop operation. Brian Bushfield, his wife, his mom, they're at 2330 Proctor Valley Road, and you'll see them on the boat on Saturday.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Pete Gray here, inviting you to catch my show, Let's Talk Hookup, every Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time. For over 30 years, we've been the voice of the fishing community for Southern California, and so glad to be back on the big stick.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
These are challenging times for our community.
The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter are here if you need help. We have hundreds of locations throughout the county where you can get help with food.
We have food.
It's okay to ask for help.
Visit one of our drive-through and walk-up locations.
We can also help you sign up for Catfish.
If you need help or if you can help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the Cal State Fullerton Titans. December 8th at 7 p.m., live from the Viejas Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great googly moogly. Oh, yeah. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. Time now for Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon. And by Prospect Home Finance.
Last month, the Orange County Soccer Club hosted its second Corporate Cup, pitting local businesses against one another in a competitive round-robin soccer tournament, with the finalists playing at Championship Stadium after the Orange County SC home game on Wednesday, October 20th.
Really a great opportunity to get our whole company and our families out here together, spending time for a good cause and really enjoying it.
Co-ed teams from a variety of industries showed up at the Great Park Fields in Irvine to participate in the charity tournament, with the proceeds going to the OCSC Community Foundation to help further its mission to use soccer as a vehicle to promote health and wellness, support and empower youth, foster an inclusive environment, and unify the local community.
We feel great about giving back to our community. Experian is a company that tries to give back in many ways, and just being able to support this cause is awesome. Anything that we can do to kind of support Orange County, we're all about it.
It was a fun day out on the field with 16 teams battling it out for bragging rights to see who moved on to the finals.
They've been taking it pretty seriously so far. A lot of them have been practicing in the weeks leading up. They've got their own custom jerseys. and you can tell they're having a great time just getting out of the office on a Friday on a beautiful day here at the Orange County Great Park.
The team members were extremely excited and passionate. We got more than expected entries, and we had to tell people to just show up and cheer the team.
Participating companies were also treated to meet and greets and private coaching sessions with OCSC players and coaches.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect is fueled by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
We're here every day, 24/7, giving you only the finest handcrafted sports talk programming you're going to find anywhere. And we never stop. Fanatic is such a mean word. We prefer committed. This is the Mightier 1090 AM.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with a new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
San Diego State men's basketball lost to number 24 ranked Michigan on Saturday. The Aztecs had a solid first half, but Michigan was able to capitalize on some mistakes and found a rhythm from the three-point line. At one point, the score was 47-43 in the second half, but Michigan went on a 14-0 run to help get them ahead and get the win. Matt Bradley scored 22 points in the Aztecs' 72-58 loss to Michigan. Nathan Mensah had 2 blocks and is now tied with San Diego State Hall of Fame inductee Michael Cage for 4th place on the program's career blocks list with 118. The Aztecs sit at 5-3 on the season. Next up for SDSU is Cal State Fullerton on Wednesday night. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable. Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the Cal State Fullerton Titans. December 8th at 7 p.m., live from the Viejas Arena.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and Your View. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, great friends. We welcome you back to the 7 Mile Casino Studios here of Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man. Now, look, for those of you that are watching on TV, because I know we got all of our radio listeners in the middle of the day. We've got our YouTube viewers that can do it when they want to. But we've got a whole bunch of people in our YouTube chat right now. But for those of you that catch up to us on television tonight, I just want to say that yesterday we had on a gentleman by the name of Eric Frost. He's got a company called the California Robe Company. And I will just say, Alex, weren't we going to put Eric on TV in one of the shows? I was actually planning on putting him on today. I don't think that's going to happen, is it?
All right, we can talk about that later.
Poor Eric Frost called me yesterday. He's like, hey, what time are you guys going to have me on TV? My mom's watching. I'm like, oh, damn, dog. I'm like, you're on YouTube right now. I was planning on putting him on TV. All right. Well, listen, here, I'm showing off his robe, okay? His California Robe Company, okay? And if you use the promo code Great Friends, he's giving you 20% savings. I love this guy's story. Oh, and by the way, for all you guys watching on TV, take a look at this. This is the brand new Kaplan and Crew hoodies, okay? And people are already asking me on Twitter, how do they get these Kaplan and Crew hoodies? You either come on the boat with us on Saturday, where everybody's getting one as a gift, or me and Brown are about to start a store on the kaplanandcrew.com website. You'll be able to buy these hoodies there. And the reason we're selling them is we want to raise money for Fat Tony's charity event, where he takes 100 kids, gives each one of these underprivileged kids a $100 gift card, sets them free in Walmart, and lets them go. And we'll be down there. What is that? It's next week. It's
the 14th.
I thought we were selling the sweaters for money.
Well, we will sell stuff eventually for money. But in this holiday season, Browner, I actually want to help Fat Tony and all these underprivileged kids. You don't want to help these kids. Screw the kids, right?
Listen, man. I'm not gonna let you frame me.
He just
like
set you up so hard, dude.
Yeah, I did, right? He did, right? Let me go.
Damn,
for.
He made you be a Grinch right there.
Let me go full Scrooge McBrown on you, sir.
Wow.
Okay. I'm gonna go full Scrooge McBrown.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, I'm a walking charity myself, brother. So I'm selling shirts. I'm selling sweaters. We can donate a portion of the proceeds. But
Here's
this
what we're
all
gonna
thing.
do. Here's what we're gonna do. The three of us are gonna go to the event. The three of us are gonna donate like we did last year. And the great friends will come through like they always do. The link is in the description below on YouTube. I'm gonna put it there. It's simple to go to makesandiegosmile.org and donate there. So the great friends will pull through.
This man.
And Fat Tony, we'll reach there.
Browner, listen, these hoodies, right?
What's the retail price of one of these hoodies, by the way?
The retail
We haven't
price-
hit that yet.
Well, that's true. We haven't, but I do know these things were kind of expensive to make.
That's
Well,
what I'm
hoodies
saying,
are
you know?
expensive to buy.
And you want to give the money away.
Well, I don't want to give it away. What I want, listen, I didn't have to say we're giving away hoodies on the yacht trip. Okay. I could have said, hey, we're going to make them available for purchase. The reason I was giving them as gifts to all of our listeners is because I feel like we have a lot to be thankful for. You know,
I agree.
I mean, we have come through from, and this story is going to get old here. You know, just like you guys were talking, about Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick. That's a Super Bowl you don't want to see. That's old. Okay. The fact of the matter is that when we got kicked off the airwaves in 2019, we are now 2021. We're almost 3 years removed from that
That story
happening.
will never get old. Who that story gonna get old to?
Well, listen, all I'm saying to you is that 3 years later, the show is still surviving and thriving
And growing.
and spending, X number of dollars to buy 150 of these hoodies, to give away 75 of them for free as gifts. That's a major expense, man. This isn't no radio station bought these.
I'm not saying it ain't. But now you getting back to my territory, baby. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no giveaway.
Well, but I
man.
committed to
It's
give
sold,
away,
baby.
I committed to give one as a gift to all of our listeners who join us on Saturday on the
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Mixed level sailing.
I'm agreeing with that. The people who make it to the boat should have something to walk off the boat with as a thank you for listening. That's what the whole boat ride is about. And him walking home with something, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about the other sweaters, baby. You are missing my point.
Well, listen,
You
I bought-
mistakenly said.
I bought 150 of them, right? Probably going to give away 75 to 80 of them on Saturday on the boat trip. The other 70 or so we'll put up on our online store, kaplanandcrew.com. We'll see if people will actually buy such things. Okay.
I think they will.
You
Are we
did-
doing
Alex?
T-shirts too, or just hoodies?
Well, right now all we have are hoodies.
Hoodies right now.
Because Tony gave me some T-shirts.
He did.
We
He
don't-
made up
I
some
don't got none of
t-shirts.
them.
He mocked up
Browner,
some
I got all
t-shirts.
your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you predict, Alex, do you think
Yeah.
people will actually go onto our website and buy our hoodies?
Yeah, I think so.
What is a
I mean,
what is
dude,
the
people.
right
I've seen
price?
people wear like baseball jerseys of yours, like from the way back in the day. They said like double X 1090 on the back. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's people out there that would buy 'em,
You
yeah.
buy a lot of hoodies. How much is a hoodie if you just went to a regular store to buy a hoodie?
So I have this thing with my buddies
Mhm.
called the $40 hoodie night.
Mhm.
There's sometimes where I am out and about on a Saturday and I end up at a brewery and it gets a little cold, and I buy a $40 hoodie because that's normally kind of what they cost.
I was there for
So
one of those nights.
$40 hoodies is kind of the where you're at.
Okay.
I have seen some more expensive ones depending on the brand. I've seen some cheaper ones. I know that I recently just bought 2 hoodies because they were like half off for like $20, and I was like, I can't say no to a $20 hoodie. So if you want people to buy, I would go towards the lower end. So that way you definitely sell them, as
Mhm.
opposed to if you mark them up for $50, and that's
No,
a,
no, no. I wouldn't
that's
do
an
that.
expense.
No, I wouldn't do that. But Browner, to your point though, I think here's the thing. A portion of the profits for sure will absolutely go to Fat Tony's charity event and to all these underprivileged kids. And then a portion of the profits will go into the pockets of the people who have to make them and have to do all the work for it. I mean, listen, there's expenses, you know? It's not just buying the hoodies.
Before we give away a penny, we got to make sure we covered all the expenses. You a businessman, you know how that rock.
Yeah, but I am. I'm giving away a lot. I'm giving away a lot of money.
By the way,
That's why we got to make sure we sell all of them.
Total side note, I just went to our website. I wanted to see if the store was up. I know it's not.
Mhm.
But the video that pops up, you don't have a goatee, and it's jarring to see you without a goatee. I'm telling you, dude. I was like, whoa, that does not even look like Scott. It looks like there's a filter on you where
Let me
I took
see.
the goatee off.
Wow.
Oh my God. Wow. God, I got to
Where's
get rid
that
of this.
guy,
I got to
man?
get rid of this thing. This goatee is just
do.
horrible.
I know,
do.
man.
This
That's so
goatee
great.
is
This is the
horrible.
last day.
Look at
This
this.
gotta be the
It's gonna
last
pop
day.
up right now.
It is so bad. I got to get rid of this.
Oh my
I got this thing. Got to go. This
Here
is
it
not a
comes.
good
Look at
look.
you.
Look at me. I look like a
You
totally
gotta
different
get rid
guy.
of that.
Doesn't it look like
You
the
gotta get rid of
Snapchat
that.
filter is on you? Like
I look
without a
like a
beard?
totally different dude. Oh my God.
It's time to go, dog. It's like
All
my
right.
hair. It's worse though.
It is time to go. All right, listen. Let me get us
You got
back
any
to.
bees in there?
I might have some. I'll tell you this. I don't like it. I don't even know why I still have it. I'm going to get rid of it. Maybe I'll get rid of it today. Hey, look. I do want to get back to what happened last night Monday Night Football, because where we left off was, so the question that was asked after the game to the Buffalo defenders was, if New England ran the ball for 222 yards and they only attempted 3 passes and they still won the game, was that embarrassing to you as defensive players? And what happens after that has created quite a conversation around the country about the way both Buffalo defenders replied. I'll get that in 1 second. Before I do, I want to just mention to everybody, I Thrive MD. Alex, if you could put it up on the screen for everybody, let everybody see what's going on here. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. And I want to just tell everybody, because I'm actually looking it up in my email right now. I wish I would have done this before we were on the air here. But I talked yesterday to Raquel Gay. And Raquel is DJ Gay's wife. Everybody knows DJ Gay. So Raquel Gay, again, DJ Gay's wife. By the way, did you guys know that DJ Gay is a high school basketball coach at La Jolla Country Day? Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. We should go check them out. We should actually have them on the show one day.
How they doing?
I don't know, as a matter of fact. I really don't know how they are doing. I think they're in the
'Cause I know their women's team is historically good.
right, and I think
Coach
I
Bamford.
think Raquel told me that they're in the top 10 in the rankings here in the San Diego high school basketball rankings. Anyway, long story short is this. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan or 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. Here's what Dr. Damani has sent me by email. Your first month of testosterone treatments are 50% off if you sign up for an appointment before Christmas. So you don't need to go see the doctor before Christmas. You just need to have an appointment on their books before Christmas. The phone number is 858-240-1497, $14.97. So you go into iThrive MD, you get your testosterone check for free. If your testosterone levels are low, because maybe you're feeling a little depressed, you're having a hard time getting out of bed, you're not sleeping well, you're not performing in the bedroom, you have very low libido. These are all signs of low testosterone. It's what happens, fellas, when we get a little bit older. But what Dr. Damani is saying is that if you have an appointment on his books before Christmas, your first month of testosterone treatments, you'll save 50%. So that is a great deal. I'm telling you right now, it's $289 a month. It gets down to $145, but it's only for 1 month. But you have to make sure you have an appointment booked before Christmas. You don't have to be in before Christmas. You have to have your appointment made before Christmas Day. And Christmas is on a Saturday. Christmas Eve is on a Friday. So you should probably do this before December 23rd. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan, 858-240-1497. He also says B12 injection packages, 15% off. Do you guys know what B12 is?
Yeah.
The vitamin.
Yeah, it's like a vitamin that just energizes your body, fights off infection. And I don't really know all the exact details, but I've many times been like,
Good for a hangover.
Hit me with a B12 shot right on. B12 injection packages, 15% off. How about that? So you get 50% off your first month of testosterone, and you get 15% off on B12 shots. So ithrivemd.com/Kaplan, 858-240-1497. All right, back to Monday Night Football. Let's go back now. Did you guys see this post-game press conference with these two Bills defenders? Did you see this, Browner?
Yes.
Okay. So bottom line goes like this. Reporter asks the question, and I'm paraphrasing. Hey, guys, vaunted Buffalo Bills defense. It was the strength of the team coming into the year. Now New England is able to come to your house in Buffalo kind of weather and throw 3 passes, complete 2 of them for like 15 yards. They ran for 222 yards all over this defense. Was that an embarrassing performance by Buffalo's defense? Let's go and watch what happened and listen in to what happened in this press conference.
20 years since the team has won a game running step 2 time in a game, he's passing that 3 times. Is that embarrassing?
Is that embarrassing?
I mean, what kind of
Boy,
question?
what are we doing, bro?
What kind of question is that?
The nation's going to be criticizing you, calling you.
All right. I think we
keep
gave
that.
up 7 points.
Yeah,
14
14 to
14.
14 to 10. Is that the final score?
We made stops when we had to. They had one big run. I mean, they got good backs.
All right.
They kept coming back to a couple runs. I mean, I don't know how you want us to answer that question.
That's funny. Well, we'll remember that. I'll remember that. This goes in this respect. It's all about respect. I come here every single week and I answer your questions truthfully, honestly. I appreciate you guys. Don't do that. Don't do that.
In my day, players.
All right. So at one point,
do what?
Yeah, at one point they look over at the PR guy like, "What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here?"
Oh, it's not like there was a baby crying early, didn't it? I thought he looked over and was like there was a lot of noise going on from that side of the. He's like, "Hey, what are we doing over here?" But I guess he could have been looking at the PR guy.
Yeah, I mean, so what I can't figure out is what is so offensive, number one, about the question. Because the word embarrassment, people use it all the time in football. You know, that was an embarrassing performance. That was an embarrassing offensive performance. Defensively, we couldn't stop them. It was embarrassing. You know, the word embarrassing is used a lot in football. But what I really was confused about was Micah Hyde, who was the one who was like, okay, I'll remember that, bro. Okay, keep going. Okay. Like, what? What are you doing? Like, are you looking at me like, hey, I'm a reporter. I'm asking you a question. You didn't like my word. Okay. You could come back and answer it and say, hey, I'm not embarrassed. We gave up 14 points. They had one big run. You know, it was a tough night out there, you know? But instead it turned into, oh, I'll remember that. Or, oh, okay, I got you. I see what you're doing. What is so wrong? I'm not sure I understand. Listen.
You know what's so wrong about it?
Yeah, let me hear.
They are embarrassed by it. Because you don't react that way unless there's a semblance or a lot of truth to the question. If they were not embarrassed, they would not have reacted that way. They're embarrassed.
The truth cuts deep. The truth cuts deep. He said it himself. They ran the same running play multiple times. And the fact that they could not stop it and force them to pass the ball, that's embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I thought it was embarrassing. Like, if you know, it became clear, I don't know, maybe 5th series of plays, they were just going to run the ball. So I don't know what kind of defensive meetings y'all had over there. Put everybody on the line and go, we're going to force you to pass this ball. We're going to put 10 in the box. We're going to force you to pass this ball. And they never did.
His follow-up, I believe the reporter's follow-up was, well, the nation is going to talk about how Mac Jones only passed the ball 3 times. Like, and that's true. What are we talking about all day? Like the fact that they only passed the ball 3 times and they won the game. So
it was a fair question.
I thought it was. They may not have liked it because I think there's truth to it. And the reporter did kind of lose me at the end. I don't know if you guys caught that at the end when he was walking away. The reporter goes, "Well, back in my day, players would just answer questions," and he like in the video cut off. It's like, okay,
Oh, I didn't hear that.
No, I couldn't hear that either.
Yeah,
but the thing is like I hate the fact that Micah Hyde is looking at him like okay,
I'm gonna beat you up in the parking lot,
right? Like, hey, dude, look, you had a job, I have a job. Okay, my job is to ask questions. Your job is to be here at a press conference. You guys went out and played. It did not go your way. There's a strange statistical anomaly that happened here.
Right.
We've never seen an NFL game that I can ever think of where a quarterback had 2 completions on 3 attempts and won the game. There must be some historical statistical fact around that. No NFL quarterback has ever thrown this few passes and still won a game. It's got to be something like that. And so the question was, dude, you guys have this supposed great defense. They didn't throw the ball at all. You knew what was coming your way, and you weren't really able to stop it. They rushed for 222 yards. When somebody rushes for 222 yards against you and doesn't even attempt to throw the ball, some people might think that's embarrassing.
You know why he responded that way too, Micah Hyde? Whose man was that on this one play?
The one long touchdown run.
Because look at I don't want to play a video, I don't want to get taken down. But look where he's at. I'll circle in my mouse. The safety, he ran all the way up and he let his man go.
Out of position.
Yeah, but I mean this tough guy thing, like I'll remember that, or like, oh, that's the way it is right now, or that you're disrespecting me, like he's gonna fight him or something.
Like Hosmer.
I found
better than that.
The way that he approached answering the question to be very forceful in an attempt to intimidate the reporter to change his question. And that's wrong. You should, as an athlete, you can respond however you choose to respond in a professional manner. You don't have to attempt to intimidate the person asking the question, because now you look like the jerk and the pressure's off of this guy for answering a question that some people may have thought was disrespectful. I didn't think it was. That was a valid question. You couldn't stop them from running. Was that not embarrassing? It's grown men pushing over grown men. No one's embarrassed by that? Like, come on, guy. Well, he was upset because they were.
But the other guy, who's the other defensive back that's sitting there with Micah Hyde? Who's that guy? Micah Hyde's a name.
Football players without helmets on.
I don't know his name. I literally didn't know the guy's name,
I know his name is drawing a blank.
And he's like, what kind of question is that? Really? What are we doing here? What kind of question is that?
Jordan Poyer.
Okay. I never heard of Jordan Poyer, okay?
Me neither.
But it's like, bro.
The other safety.
There's a lot of reporters here. You guys have a job to do as well. The media relations department.
And it was a Monday night game.
Right. The media relations department is they called you guys in. Hey, we need you guys to come do this press conference. Guy asks a question. You're like, what are we doing here? What kind of question is that? What do you mean? What are you now the analyst of question asking? So not only are you the ball player, but you get to determine how the questions are asked or what the language is in the questions. I think these two guys really come off as looking like jerks. I really do.
I agree.
I agree. Listen, at the end of the day.
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
We figure out that good things happen at press conferences.
Yeah, Browner.
Don't try to turn this on me. Don't do that. That was nice, though. That was nice. That was a good reversal. Didn't work. Answer the question.
Well, this is why
I like how the reporter.
We like press conferences.
I like how the reporter on Twitter just is fighting back. He's like, yeah, so it was just that one, right? But if you take away the Henry run in Tennessee or the Jonathan Taylor 40-yarder a couple weeks ago, it's the sort of rationalization we get from a mediocre Bills defense. He's going after him.
Who's the reporter? What's his name?
Jerry Sullivan from WIVB Channel 4.
Jerry will
contributing columnist for the Niagara Gazette.
I'll bet you that Jerry Sullivan, if I had to guess, because that name sounds familiar to me, I'll bet you he's probably been there through generations and generations of Bills teams, coaches, players, GMs, ownership changes, et cetera, et cetera. He's probably seen it all. You guys were supposed to be this big, tough defense, and you're getting run all over by a team that threw 3 passes. You find that to be embarrassing? And then these 2 young guys say to this old guy, again, you're right, Browner. That was the exact tonality was, I'm going to intimidate you or try and make you look stupid here in this room because everybody's going to be on my side because I'm the player.
You know who does that a lot?
Who dat?
Westbrook. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. He does that all the time with almost every question. What do you think about that? You think that was smart? You think that was smart?
Oh, man, Jerry Sullivan really going after it. Micah Hyde acts like he's doing the media a favor by coming out and answering questions after the game. The media can't be in the locker room during COVID to ask tough questions. Most players get to hide while leaders speak for the team.
Oh. All right, stick around,
I'm gonna
everybody.
follow
We're in this-
Jerry Sullivan.
Yeah, nice. Me too. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. John Clayton stopping by next. This is Kaplan.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
We don't ask a lot from you. Just 16 measly hours a day. That's it. Buy some earbuds. Listen at work, in meetings, on the way home, talking to the wife, or helping the kids with homework. They'll admire your stick-to-itiveness. This is the mightier 1090 AM.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Your View and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Save the Storks. Help us reach the hearts of women with compassion, education, and holistic care.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
San Diego State men's basketball lost to number 24 ranked Michigan on Saturday. The Aztecs had a solid first half, but Michigan was able to capitalize on some mistakes and found a rhythm from the three-point line. At one point, the score was 47-43 in the second half, but Michigan went on a 14-0 run to help get them ahead and get the win. Matt Bradley scored 22 points in the Aztecs' 72-58 loss to Michigan. Nathan Mensah had 2 blocks and is now tied with San Diego State Hall of Fame inductee Michael Cage for 4th place on the program's career blocks list with 118. The Aztecs sit at 5-3 on the season. Next up for SDSU is Cal State Fullerton on Wednesday night. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Got an opinion? Scott Kaplan says test it on cited.co. Yes, .co. SoCal Sports Talk. The all-new and mightier 1090.
Welcome to Team Mazda of El Cajon. Thank you for joining us to make the trip to San Diego's first Mazda Retail Evolution facility. It takes years and years to put all this together and to make Team Mazda a reality. Unbelievable team here.
Thank you to John and Corinne for the opportunity. It's a privilege and an honor to say that this is the store I get to be the general manager of.
I do want to speak to what I have in my hand here. It is a big, heavy plaque representing the grand opening. So I want to present this to John, say thank you again.
We're very proud of the work that you're doing here. I commend you on your future prosperity. At this point, I want to invite you all outside to hear a drum demonstration.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
Our mission at Shelter to Soldier is twofold. We're saving lives two at a time. We adopt dogs from shelters and rescues across California, and we're training these dogs that are carefully evaluated for 12 to 18 months, and they're going to become psychiatric service dogs that are later placed with post 9/11 combat veterans.
As one of the leading law firms in California, we at the Barnes firm believe it is really important to give back to our community.
This team of amazing individuals has come together, and they've actually sponsored 3 dogs. One of them being our pal Barney, rescued out of a shelter, believe it or not. And he was named after the late Steve Barnes, which brings a lot of personal meaning to the team at the Barnes firm, to our organization. So being able to carry on that legacy through Barney's work and helping fellow veterans really important to everybody, us included.
It's quite an honor for us to have Barney join the family, and we're looking forward to meeting the service member who he's paired up with.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Crews for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on Your View, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.